report in front of you, not too much last month, just 3 complaints and 1 citation issued.
Those tires in the ditch, were those the ones down by the bridge that were like on that corner there?
I didn't even go look at it, I just notified Paulette and had her send the road guys out to go pick them up.
Okay. Is that, do you know if that's where they were?
41, it was right by its house,
Oh.
4131 Ranger Road, so way over on the east side, almost 52nd.
Okay, so we still got the ones over by me. Is that church? That must be church.
No, that's on, that's in front of JJ's house, isn't it?
No, they're on the curve, right when you come off the bridge. If you
Oh,
go
okay.
down Church,
Okay,
they're
alright.
just past the driveway for the mill. Doug, do you know where I mean?
I know.
I didn't, I was writing, what was it?
That would be church there.
That would be church, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. There were some tires in the ditch. They've been there, and I thought I mentioned them, but I'll bring it up again.
Do
I'll
they
just
maybe
check with
use
Castle.
them to cross the road with heavy equipment?
No,
Like
these were
dozers or
past
something?
it was
Okay.
past that drive. I'll talk to Casson about it. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to talk to Brandon about? No? Brandon, if you'd like to leave, if you have plans, please feel free.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming. All right, moving on. Building inspector, Josh is not here, he left a list. If anyone has questions for Josh, please let him know, and then he'll be in attendance. But he does have other communities and commitments, so. And since we're down to 1 meeting a month, I told him we'd let him know. Okay? Oh, just for the minutes, Brian called, he's excused. Zoning administrator, I guess. Other than what Josh is gonna tell you, I don't think I have anything. Nobody's called for any kind of information or anything. We've got a couple new residents moving into town. They needed some advice, we got that taken care of. But I think we're good. Road crew, Caston, okay, Doug, sorry.
I see they were out picking up debris and things off the road, and I'm not sure if he got them tires. It was the other day I was in, and they were out doing that. And Caston's been brooming intersections. They got their broom back, and we broke down, so they've got that going. And one other thing I'd like to see is down Ranger Road, that brush cutting that you did earlier this year. That looks great. I know you
It
guys
does.
when you guys got a lot of heat on that, but I want to tell you
Oh,
what,
we did.
the safety on it is improved immensely.
It's good to
You
hear.
can see anybody pulls out or pulls in, so I applaud you for that. Probably the first time you got.
A pat on the back for that. yes.
Looks good,
Yeah.
so.
And I actually went to Point last week, and I went down there, and it does look really good. I
Yeah,
mean, with all the foliage out, you can't even tell.
It's typical, when you do that, it looks like it's all cut up or chopped up, but it all blends back in.
I think though, going forward, being that we did have so many complaints, I think the streets that are going to be affected, I think we're gonna send them a card and tell them that, you know, this fall or early next spring, we're going to be cutting. If you wanna take care of it, feel free, but otherwise, we're gonna be taking care of it.
I think before we do it too, we need to maybe tool up a little different, maybe a brush bucket or something to help us get it
Well,
picked up a little quicker.
that takes a lot more time. You can't cut like this. It probably costs you a lot more if you do it different. It's just.
Well, with what happened, with what they had though, they needed a brush bucket to pick up what was there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm talking tool up our guys to be
I
able
thought
to
you meant a bucket
respond.
to go up and cut them.
No, a brush bucket as far as for a tractor or something to grab brush to get it taken away.
We talked about that on the tractor. They could put a clam on there, so that's
Yeah.
something. And here he is.
Yeah, so I think we need to really entertain getting something to help them clean that up a little faster.
He's, we talked about that.
So,
That'll be on the machinery list, I'm sure, a clam bucket on the front of the tractor.
Yeah, and I think the tractor would be better than the loader for that. I think it'd be a lot more nimble.
Tractor's already got the hydraulic set for it, doesn't it?
We got started.
I see it.
They might need to add a third function to it, but that's usually about 1,500 to add a third function on a tractor, so.
Don't they got the third function for that wheel, for the sweeper?
Yeah, we,
Hi, Brenda.
Yeah, probably.
yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a good function.
so it has a third function
So it
already.
should
that'd
have
be-
it. So.
I'm gonna make a note, so I got it on your bucket list for the fall,
The wish list, okay.
yeah, for your wish list.
We were talking about the brushing on Ranger.
Okay.
I like it.
Which tractor are you thinking would be better to put that on?
Well, go ahead.
The case, the smaller one.
Smaller one? Is that the red one?
Yeah,
When
it's
you
a
put
lot,
the
it'd be a
broom in?
lot more nimble.
Okay,
You'd utilize it much better than that
Yeah,
New
I think
Holland.
so too.
okay,
Hauling
just
it
so
there,
big.
Matt.
yeah.
And it does have the functions on it that you need to put.
It does, yeah, it has all the functions we need.
Will that lift high enough to go over the edge of the dump truck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if we go
Well,
long enough.
At least the
Loader.
small one it will.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a trailer too, don't we, that we can throw stuff in?
Well, it's just an equipment hauling trailer.
Oh, okay,
Well, we do have a small trailer with a gate on the back, that's
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
That, yeah. if we
Yeah.
can
Problem with
use
that is you gotta unload that by hand then, and it's a lot easier to go and dump.
Yeah.
Dump
I
right
think
away.
this
Think of
one-
all the muscle building, Jake.
Yeah,
I'm thinking speed here.
Yep.
Get it picked up quick.
yeah.
Do you have anything else, Doug?
Yeah, one other thing, I've got, Paulette and I we've been working on the bid process for the patches.
Yeah,
We'll get them in the paper and hopefully, it looks like, when are we gonna open them? Within the next couple weeks after we do
okay.
our.
So how soon can we get that put in the paper? Could we
She'll
put
put
it
it
on
in
the
tomorrow.
agenda for next month to
We
open?
should be able to, yeah.
That's how we have it written up right now, but he just wanted to have you guys, if there was anything else needed added or changed to that, we had a chance before I sent it to the paper.
Oh, okay. You got it all wrote up then?
Yeah, she,
Okay.
How
I'll take
thick
a-
are you having them do, 2 inches in those?
2 inches shaping and then 2 inches of hot mix asphalt.
Okay,
You said there were 10 total?
10 of them. There's 1 on 64th, 6 on 52nd, and 3 on Hollywood.
and have you gotten an update from American Asphalt as far as paving goes on
No,
Mill?
I will be calling John because he said the end of this month, first of next month, so.
I actually called them and I had something else to discuss, but it sounded like they were looking at pulverizing, I think they had it 28th or 29th.
Good.
They were
Well, then
looking.
They're right on schedule.
And I think I think that was gonna sit for a couple weeks before they ended up paving, so it'd be kind of mid-August.
So they'll put the gravel on first?
I believe that's the case, and I did ask where the gravel, he didn't quite know where they're getting the gravel from. I kinda urged them Seven Sisters, if they, between the two, I prefer theirs, especially if they're gonna grind it after, so.
You said the 27th or 28th?
28th or 29th, I believe is when he said.
I'll give him a call and give him a little push.
And that's for which?
That's for both. They'll grind them both the same, get the gravel on and grind them both.
Both the courts.
Well, the courts and mill.
Okay.
So I know we had 4 different ones, I consider it 2 separate projects,
Okay.
but yeah, both mill and the courts
Yeah,
should.
All of the pieces on Bill?
Yeah,
Okay, 2 pieces, I guess it was.
well,
Okay.
yeah, 2 pieces and 1 straight line, so.
Okay. Anything else, Doug?
No?
Okay, thank you. Caston, do you have anything?
No, it's just business as usual right now. We've been mowing, shouldering, patching.
The mowing looks good. It's growing really fast.
It
but-
is growing very fast. Yeah, I wish we could mow all
I
the way
know.
every time, but
I know. It seems like you get done with one road and I look over and the next one is
yeah.
high enough to be mowed again, but
Did you get those 2 spots on Tower fixed up too?
I did, yeah. Here I
Kind
didn't.
of odd burnouts on there, I don't know
Yeah,
what they
'cause
were.
I didn't know there was 2 there. I didn't find the second one when you told me.
Okay,
And then a gentleman stopped and, because I was shouldering earlier, and he stopped and let me know that there was 1 more out there.
Right.
So it's taken care of now. The
Okay.
second one was,
right. They had it dug out about a foot right on the edge of the road,
yeah,
and
2 spots.
I've never seen them burn out quite like that, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like they backed up off the road and then did a burnout in the sand
And
and
then brought it out onto the road.
onto the road, which broke part of the road out, considering it's just a chip seal road, and it's
Yeah.
probably ½ inch thick.
I did have a call just before I got here on a property on the corner of 10 Mile and Range Line and I think it's the one where all the trees were cut down,
Yeah.
and now it's vacant, and the grass is really high for turning the corner. Can you check that out?
Okay, yeah. Mark that down too.
So what is your?
No, go ahead.
Are you, how much mowing do you have? Are you doing your first cut yet?
We both already did our first cut, and then Tom is almost done with his second cut right now on his side. And I'll be doing my second cut.
Okay, and then later this fall you'll cut back.
Then we cut back in the fall.
That way you guys know what's going on too.
As far as the mowing goes, do you know of any areas in the town that we have noxious weed problems at all, or?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of either.
Now, another one is lupin too. You gotta be careful with that, so you
If-
don't mow that down.
If we do see it, we have weed spray for it.
Have we sent you to any training for noxious weeds at all? That's getting to
Not
be,
specifically for that, but that, down in the Dells, that seminar, they discussed it.
okay.
There was training on it.
Now, some of those can get pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of that noxious weed, that'll burn you pretty good. It's getting worse too. You know, I think a lot of it, our paper industry dragged a lot of that stuff in as they brought logs and stuff in, so that, we've got a lot of nasty stuff out there.
I kind of, I don't know, been seeing a lot of wild parsnip, but I haven't seen any in
Yeah.
Saratoga yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't get it, but
Do the deer eat it?
no.
I want some.
No, you don't? Wild parsnip?
No, I'm kidding. Kidding. The deer are killing my yard. All right,
Drop
anything
them off
else,
at Charlie's house.
Cassie?
Yeah.
Did you get the third quote for the gutters? Did they send that to you?
I
Actually,
believe there's 3 of them.
yeah,
Okay, so you have all those quotes?
yeah, I think we got all three in here.
All right, that's all.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't I?
Are you talking about gutters now?
Yes,
I-
not right now, but in,
That'll come up?
It'll come up.
Okay, I'll wait.
okay.
Got some questions.
All right, great. Anything else from the road department?
Nope.
Okay, let's go to the plan commission, but before you say anything, Josh, I wanna remember to tell you that we have to review the building code in regards to quiet times for construction. So that, you can add that to one of your agendas, and then, please go ahead with your report.
Review building code for construction times.
Yes,
Okay.
construction
Quiet
hours,
times.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, our last meeting on the 10th, pretty much everything that was on that agenda is on this agenda tonight. Items 6, 7, 8, or kinda 8 and 9. And then I have one question, because I wrote down Rome invited the plan commission for
Yes,
that.
yeah.
And what day was that?
We don't have a date
Oh,
yet.
that's right, that's why I don't have a date right now.
Right.
Okay. They're gonna let us know when they've
They
got
are.
a date, okay.
Yes, they are.
The plan commission was invited by the town of Rome to go down, or to go there for, plan commission training?
Yep, an
Basically.
in-house speaker, they're gonna, have a speaker come in and help the plan commission members, especially being that the plan commission has a lot of turnover. They're 2 years or 4 years, I don't remember,
2 years.
2 years. And all the new members, they don't know exactly where they belong in the scope of things, so this is good training for them. And the town of Rome is reciprocating the training that we offered earlier this year, and they invited all of our plan commission members to attend if they would like. And they're gonna supply them a lunch and a trainer.
I'm gonna try to get our whole plan commission there, honestly.
That would be wonderful.
Because of our 7-member plan commission, 4 of them are brand new, so.
The fact, yeah. And they are gonna supply a lunch, and that would put the town on the hook for $10 a person, and I didn't think that would be a problem. Okay.
So yeah, everything on the plan commission that we've dealt with the last week is on the agenda tonight, so we'll discuss that then.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Josh? Okay. Moving on, clerk,
Yeah, keep it on, keep it on.
you had something today you were gonna bring up.
Time cards by next week?
I'm not sure that was it, but that'll be close enough. We'll let you go. If you think of it, let us know. Treasurer Billy Joe?
I just gave Brandon his report for the dogs. We have 23 residents, with a total of 27 dogs that are still not licensed, that we know of.
Wow.
So, with multiple, from the tax letter, I called everyone I could call on the list. Some have disconnected numbers, some, their voicemails were full, but I made every effort to contact them that way, plus the letter that was sent. So then the next step is Brandon will send a citation out.
Okay. Well, we sure gave them a lot of chances. And we appreciate you doing that. We know that that is way above what you have to do, but I'm sure the residents appreciate it too.
Yeah, it's good to know that they all have their rabies shots.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about, is making sure they all have their rabies shots.
yeah. I actually had a confrontation with a couple of my neighbor dogs today. They're big. Anything else?
Nope, that should do
Any
it.
questions for Billy Joe? Anything? Okay. Informational announcements by board members. We'll start with you.
I got nothing. There was, one complaint on tall grass, and that has been taken care of. I drove by it earlier today, and it's
Good
been
deal.
mowed, so we're good.
Okay.
I had 2 calls, one complaining about those spots on Tower, and the other one on 64th Street, and why we turned a perfectly good road into a gravel road, so.
Because it was cheaper.
Oh yeah, and those are swept now.
Yeah, I did see you got the intersections on there, so,
Yep.
but, yeah, so I explained the maintenance and that, and I don't know, I tried calling them back to follow up after it's been beat down a little bit. They look good now, but I haven't heard anything back from them, so.
Well, I appreciate you handling it, Chase. Anything
Did he
else?
say that was a good road?
What's that?
Did that guy say that was a good road?
Did they say it was,
A
they,
good
yeah,
road?
they said,
Oh.
yeah, it was,
Okay.
why,
I was just thinking about that.
and it was a she. She wanted to know why we turned her perfectly good paved road and nothing wrong with it into a gravel road,
Okay,
so,
might wanna look on the ratings on that one.
yeah. Well, that was 60.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I explained why, and so it stayed a good road, and I don't know that she was fully satisfied, but we're now 3 weeks later, and it's all packed in, and no dust is kicking up, and hoping she's more satisfied.
As long as you answered questions, I think that's a lot of it. Just answer the questions, just call them back and,
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not gonna like what you say, but at least you call them back.
Just a couple quick things there. Somebody had called me about some surveying going on Blue Ridge, and I didn't know nothing about some surveying going on Blue Ridge, by the solar area.
I don't know anything about any surveying going on Blue Ridge.
Right. I didn't either, so,
It's,
but see, we don't need to know about that until after it's done either.
well,
so.
Was it,
Why they-
if there's a sale of land,
yeah, that's
the
the only
surveyor
reason.
would come out.
Yeah,
Right, right.
but
Well, are
if
they
it's where the solar field is going,
Yeah.
I don't know, that,
surveying or
Yeah,
like
could it
marking
be-
utilities?
I don't know.
it could be
I
marking
really don't know.
utilities. Because, the electrical, power lines are gonna be, the easement's gonna get bigger.
Mhm.
So I know
I
there's
was
been a lot
wondering
of
if-
surveying
yeah.
done for
I
that.
was wondering if maybe they're gonna be getting ready to re-blacktop that, cause isn't solar got a re-blacktop Blue Ridge?
No,
No.
We have a grant on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
no.
that's gonna be set for next.
Yeah, I didn't know
it'll be
nothing
next
about
year,
it,
but
but-
either
I
next 2
don't
years.
know any
sometime.
land that's going for sale.
We just got
there.
the people.
Okay. Okay, that was about it, all I had, there was.
Well, if there is land up for sale and somebody's surveying, we'll find out
Yeah,
about it, I'm
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I told her, I says, we don't usually get it until after the,
County,
after it's been
Or-
okayed from the upper.
Angelon,
Yep.
yeah.
Madam Chairman, if I may, it may be, I don't know what you saw, but
I didn't
along
see it. It
the
was just a phone call
Enbridge
yesterday.
pipeline route, we did get a mailing that
Okay.
there would be crews out for 2 or 3 weeks doing, you said survey work. I think they might just be looking for carnival butterflies or something like that.
I didn't drive
If that's
down.
where it was.
Yeah, I didn't drive down, that was yesterday, so I didn't,
Could be.
yeah.
Okay, I got a couple things. I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people about Church and Ranger. Church and Ranger are open, but when you cross Z, the road work is being done on County Trunk Z from Highway 73 to Highway 13, going around to where the dam is and the backside of the airport. They're putting a new T intersection where the curve was. They're asking for only local traffic to be on Z, and that's why the signage is out. So I know for a fact that they have promised it will be done before school starts. Whether they can hold to that, I don't know. It depends on the rain.
I don't know that they've started doing the paving yet. I know they have to wait on the paving until they get a grant funding opportunity.
Doug?
I know a little bit about it.
Okay, Doug,
They've,
please.
they've done, it's called Colden Place, they've done that.
Right.
That's already done.
Yep.
And they did get received their paperwork to start the paving, so
So they did, okay.
that'll be shortly, yes.
Yeah, I know they wanted to finish up over by the ski, the Wazeecha,
ADF.
yeah, before they came back over here, because that's more important, that's
Well,
more
they
immediate.
didn't have their funding in place yet, but they do
No,
now.
they had
Okay.
applied for a grant through, I believe it was the
BIA.
Ho Chunk Nation, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got
they,
that now.
and they had received it, but they needed to go through the proper
Right.
channels. And-
Yeah, when they
But,
came in here, they said they had received it, but
Well,
maybe
they,
it was,
it had been approved, but they have to still go,
get the
they
money.
have to go through certain councils there and
It's
get it
been
official.
finalized and they'll be starting soon.
Yeah.
Good enough. Let's see, what else? Garbage collection is going good. Everybody seems to know that if they have any issues, they're supposed to call us so that we can, get with the garbage company to handle your garbage cans.
Have we still been getting a lot of calls on that?
A few,
Yeah,
probably 3 or 4 a week.
yeah.
What's the main?
Wheels, and they dump it on the side instead of standing it up. And, sometimes there's garbage cans where they don't belong. They put them on parcels that don't have houses, so they need to be collected. Is that about the gist of
I would
it?
say the wheels is probably the biggest,
Yeah,
but I think there needs to be some finesse to the mechanics of the arm.
yeah,
I don't know if you watch them, they really grab that thing.
yeah, yeah, and then when they drop it, they just drop it.
Done, it's over. and they're
Um,
gone.
Tim said that they can set it to
Yeah,
drop
There's
lighter
a, there's
and,
a speed limiter on it, it's just not set,
yeah.
like it's opened up.
Well, they're gonna find out that with all these broken
Well,
ones,
you know,
that,
when they come by next time, give them a card and make sure they know you can.
Jump on the side on the way by and fix it as we go.
okay, no,
By the
no
time they-
advertising here,
By the time they turn
boys.
around, by the time they turn around, they'll have it, we'll figure it out.
All right, moving on, that's all I got. Moving on, approval of the previous minutes, did everybody have a chance to read the minutes? And is there any corrections other than what you've already told Paulette? I didn't see any myself.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for Wednesday, June 19th board meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Chase and a second by Josh to approve the minutes of June 19th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. All right, moving on. Rezoning request for L1L parcel 1800354. There was a public hearing held at the Plan Commission on June 12th. And then there was a motion to recommend approval to the town board for today's meeting. You all have the paperwork. Do you have any discussion on this?
Okay, so just to double check, we're
Okay,
rezoning this to commercial?
Yes.
Plan?
yes,
And that's the full 34 acres here?
yes. On the opposite side of the road, it is as deep as this side is, I can tell you that. This is, there is no plans accompanying this is just the rezoning of this property. I received a phone call that, from a resident that did not want this to go in place. We received a in-person, concern at the Plan Commission, and that would be 2 of the 6 residents that are surrounding this. I believe there's 6 or 8, maybe. There's 8, okay. So 2 of the 8 have replied, and
What are their biggest concerns with this?
a commercial abutting a residential area.
I guess I see.
Commercial traffic on Evergreen.
Okay.
I guess back to, sorry.
I mean, by the looks of it, we already have commercial abutting residential. It just moves it over. So,
It moves it down Evergreen Avenue
right,
farther.
right.
Yeah.
It moves it, yes.
Deeper.
Yeah, deeper.
Our commercial is, yeah, moving farther into our residential.
So it's a 40-acre parcel, total from Highway 13 back to that red line. That's a complete 40. And on the opposite side of the road, where, what is that there, Josh?
I get the storage units.
This is storage units. That's
Oh,
a,
yeah,
that's a
storage
full
and
40
duplexes.
feet too, right?
Oh, on the, yes.
On the opposite
Yep,
side,
yeah,
yeah.
storage.
So,
So, do we have any signs out on Evergreen, no truck traffic or anything like that?
that I don't know.
It's just a
That's
posted,
maybe
it's just a posted
Cass-
road.
Cassidy
Class
down
B,
there.
I'm
just a way.
thinking, isn't it?
What?
Class B?
Yeah. It's just a posted.
So they
class B
shouldn't
road.
go through there unless they have a delivery or a,
Yeah,
Well, I'm just wondering if we do this, it might be good to reinforce right after that property with a no truck sign or something like that. I know it's a cut across, a lot of people try to cut through there.
Class B has no trucks already.
Well, no, actually, Class B, you can go through empty with most trucks. It limits it down by a certain percentage.
anyway, is this a Class B road,
It is a
Evergreen?
Class B. All of our roads are Class B, I believe, aren't they?
Most of them.
No.
I think Class B, you cannot unless you have a delivery or a pickup.
Or you live there, correct?
Yeah, I don't think you can cross on them. That's the reason for that. They're all coming, when they go down you, instead of going to 73.
I guess I'd have to look it up, but I've always been understanding
I may be
that
wrong on
Class
that.
B reduces the weight limit to 60% of the original weight limits, by DOT standards. So, usually an empty truck can go through a Class B.
I'm not so sure on that. Could be.
But I'm thinking if we do this, it might not be bad to reinforce something there with just some no truck signs
And
through there.
Yeah.
And
It hasn't been said what was gonna be on this development, just said it wanted to be commercial,
well, I
so,
don't know that no truck signs would be bad in general there, to be honest. So,
okay, we can do that.
And that point you just made, Lorelei, that there is no plans for this land at this time.
Correct,
The owner just wants it zoned commercial.
yes,
And if commercial was to go into this property, site plan review would have to be submitted to the
Correct.
commission before. This is just changing from, is it RP? RP, I think it is.
it is changing from,
that's the information I'm missing here that I'm seeing what.
no,
yeah.
it should be on the back of that.
I didn't-
Presently rural preservation.
Rural preservation and going to highway commercial, you didn't get that?
Yes.
It's right here.
Back of
Chief.
page.
Oh, okay.
Being that it would be zoned commercial, would it have to fit all the commercial buildings from then on?
It would have to fit with the commercial code,
Okay.
commercial district requirements, yes.
So you wouldn't be able to build personal property on that without a use
He
variance or
could,
whatever?
he could come in for a,
Personal, what do
CUP.
you mean personal property?
What am I rethinking? No, I'm not thinking right. What do I wanna say?
PUD?
Like a
PUD,
resident.
thank you. He could come in for a PUD,
Which is,
A planned
planned
unit.
unit development.
Oh,
So
okay.
he could do like a
Okay.
housing,
okay.
he
But
could
that all
ask
have to
for
be-
it,
That would have
but
to be all.
that would
Yep.
still have to be approved. But I mean, that would be something that would be
Yep.
more residential than commercial, or even however it's designed, or a condo plat, that would also be something that could be done. do commercial.
Do you know which two residents here were making?
I think there's a gentleman back there, and he owns commercial property here in, the town, so.
Is there anything you'd like to,
I just, if it goes commercial, highway commercial, I don't think there should be any driveways off of Evergreen, being it is a side road. Worried about the traffic, worried about the trash, or everything else that's associated with it. We bought our property on Evergreen because we knew this was zoned the way it was. We knew it was gonna be zoned commercial, we never would have purchased our property out there. I mean, we're not interested in living next to commercial property. Especially if it's gonna be turned into more duplexes, more condos. The way that it is on the corner at Ruch's there, we see a lot of garbage up by us. Especially now with the new garbage cans, we get a lot of garbage up by us. Because recyclables, they don't throw in bags, so when that dumps and it's windy out, pulls it right down the road every time. Now there's recycle day, there's 16 garbage cans sitting at one driveway over there. If we have that on the other side of the road, there's gonna be 32 garbage cans, and then there's 32 acres or 33 acres that could end up being whatever, it could, you know, I talked to zoning in Rapids, and they said that there was talks of condominium complex on that acreage. That has me very concerned. And once it's zoned commercial, it has to go through the planning commission, but it's still viable to do it. And I don't think that's the right spot for it. It's not. And then there's one driveway coming off on 13. If this is commercial, highway commercial, and the driveways don't come off Evergreen, and it's all off of 13, there's 40 acres of buildings that could be serviced by one driveway with no turn lane, no passing lane. Shoulders aren't very wide there. It's a 2-lane highway. There's a turn within 100 yards, a curb in the highway within 100 yards of the driveway. It just seems very unsafe place to be doing this. I don't know if there's been any traffic studies done on this, as far as off of 13. I mean, even if there's 20 buildings that go in there and they all have 3 employees, that's 60 people turning in and out every day. I know there's no plans of it, but the problem is.
Well, the highway department would not allow a roadway to come off of 13 if they thought it was going to be dangerous. They would do a study.
Right, well, what is it approved for now? Because there is some commercial buildings there now, and they approve it to a certain point, is what they told me.
And I don't know that.
Right, but if there's more buildings that are back there.
Then they would address that as it comes.
Right, it's a big concern of ours, because we've had a lot of close calls turn on Evergreen the way it is off of 13. Semis coming, we're waiting, semis coming behind us. We've had people lock up their brakes behind us. There's been some close calls there, and you go down that much further and have that much more traffic, it seems very unsafe to us.
It's getting busy. I'll admit, it's getting busy on 13
It's gonna
with
get worse.
Rome developing. It is getting busier.
I don't know, if there was at least a turn lane and a passing lane to help relieve some of that, I think it would help a lot, but I know that's an extra cost.
And that's not even something that we can address.
I know, but
It's a
it's
state
just a
highway.
concern of ours.
Yeah,
You know,
agreeably, yeah.
and it's just, once it's commercial, if it starts building up in condos, it's not what we moved there for, so yeah, we're against it.
Are you talking about Evergreen?
Yes. You look at Ruch's and half it's concrete, half it's gravel, they don't mow it all the time.
Yeah, but this isn't Ruch's.
I know, but it's one that has been put in, approved to be here.
If you have garbage flying out, I would appreciate a phone call, because I would like to address that. We don't want that going on in town.
They should have a dumpster there for 8 units. They should just have a dumpster.
And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with it as well.
Absolutely.
I think we
To
gotta,
have 16 garbages on one driveway.
yeah, I don't.
I
like
requested that out on 13, and they have cans, I still believe. I don't think he ever put the dumpster out there.
No, but that was a private drive, and they cannot take the garbage can down a private drive.
Well, so is Silver Creek.
Yeah,
That's the
where
one
you're
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because with all those cans and all those people, that's what I
Okay.
thought too, is a dumpster would be wise.
Okay. Okay, we're getting off topic here. So
Sorry.
let's go back on here.
But it'd be nice if there's ordinances of, if if there is something built, that they have to abide by something. I mean, the Thor's for sale sign is still up on both sides of the intersection for years. And they mow around it, but
The
nobody
what is
takes it
up?
down. When Thor owned that land, Thor Lazley, he had built these wood for sale signs. They're 4x8 sheets up in the
Okay.
air.
I didn't,
They're on both sides of Evergreen. Nobody ever takes that stuff down. It just, there's still signs sitting there from
He's-
contractors that were building the duplexes.
I've not seen those. And we're addressing signage right now, so this is a good
It just
thing.
looks trashy, you know? It's-
You'll recognize them.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
But if we get that much more, that's what we're worried about, that much more of it.
Okay.
We're gonna have that much more of it. We just, you know, it's not what we wanna live by,
Okay.
so.
Duly noted, thank you. Any other discussion?
I don't have any discussion, I said, you know, before any commercial development would come in here, it has to come back to the plan commission with a site plan review, and the plan commission is gonna ask for certain things. Probably more of a setback, more of a buffer, how they plan on accessing it, you know, what's going in there, you know,
So,
so.
question, when you do that, do you address the road
Yes.
actually? Does it design so it can handle it?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it in other developments, yep.
And then,
That would be my concern, depending what goes in there.
Right.
I know he was talking about that, I'm just wondering about that.
yeah, we do.
There's not even a turn lane going into NEPCO.
No. It's pretty hard to get a turning lane on 13.
It is, extremely.
They know the traffic numbers that can handle that, so that you've gotta get beyond that before you start getting turn lanes. If it were a hospital or something like that, probably.
Well, I guess most of what we're talking about here so far are what ifs.
Yeah.
And it's gotta come before planning commission before we get any, you know, do any further.
Plan
It
commission
is-
and this board.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's consistent with our, you know, what we've had for projected growth, and I'm gonna make a motion to approve the rezoning request for parcel number 1800354.
Yep. Okay, I have a motion by Chase. Do I have a motion to approve the rezoning request for parcel number 1800354 from rural preservation to highway commercial? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes.
I would encourage you, if there's anything coming in front of, you know, kind of keep an eye on what's coming up, and kind of voice concerns with what may be going in at that point. At this point, I don't think there's anything we can really stop to rezone this at the moment, so.
The whole point of rural preservation is just that. And that's what we seen when we moved here, so. Is what it is.
All right, moving forward. CSM for John Krusik, 3521 Evergreen Avenue, parcel 1800190. This is a 40-acre parcel to be split into two parcels, a 10-acre parcel in the southwest corner, and the remainder to be approximately 30 acres. Just to caution you, what you're seeing on the CSM is the actual southwest corner. It's not the whole 40, so,
Yeah, the unplatted is.
right.
The unplatted is the rest of the 40.
Yeah. And this was reviewed at the Plan Commission, and they recommended to the town board approval.
So, just, so this electrical easement here.
Yes.
There's 659 foot, if I'm reading this correct, from the electrical easement to the corner, is that?
It's from this corner to this corner, is 659.
Okay.
It goes all the way. The
Okay,
easement
yeah,
is
I see
100
that,
feet
okay.
wide. It's 50 on each side. So Actually, Chase, what you're seeing is the driveway could only be over here.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to.
They can cross
if
an
we can
easement
see what-
for a driveway, but it's not recommended.
Right.
I would caution against it.
All right, well, looks like they've got the room for a driveway. I don't see anything else that would stop for our zoning, so I'll make a motion to approve the, surveyed survey map for 1800190.
Okay, I have a motion by Chase for the approval of CSM for Mr. John Krusik at 1800190. That is the parcel number. We don't have an address because it's vacant property. I need a second.
I'll second that.
I have a second by Carl. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, moving on to the gutter repair and or replacement and the concrete removal for the town hall. I'm gonna start with the concrete removal because that's the easiest. So, thank you.
Thanks.
So the concrete removal, if you'll notice in front of the town hall, there's a big slab of concrete. It goes from the actual hall building to be encompassing the hallway, the bathrooms, and the EMTs. And all that concrete, my assumption, it was put there years ago to maybe put picnic tables out there when they had the town hall rentals. However, what it's doing now is it has settled near the building, which is not unusual because when they dig the hole for the basement, they can't compact the soil to what nature can, and so where it's not natural, it tends to dip, and that's exactly what's happened. So I have told Caston and Tom to remove the concrete slab, all of it in front of the building, except for the entranceway, which is approximately 8 to 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
And then we will put dirt in there, bring it up a little bit. We'll put landscaping fabric under that, and then we'll put gravel. And we'll slant it away from the building at an incline to keep the water pitch away from the building. What's happening is that due that the ice is melting in the spring, the water gets down to the block and then it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws and it's breaking apart the block. So if you go into the basement over there, you'll see piles of concrete block that's being
Now you're
decomposed.
talking gravel there, are you talking?
Well, some material. I don't care what goes on top, but we don't want to plant anything. Yes.
So would you, maybe a little clay to keep the,
That would be amazing, yeah, if we could,
you
yeah.
can buy the clay from like Walasik
Yeah.
and spread that out of the slopes, and then the water runs away before
Right.
it comes down.
Right.
At least get it 4 feet away from the building.
I guess rather than landscape fabric, I'd rather see some geogrid put under there than the landscape fabric. It's a little
Yeah.
stronger.
Okay,
Or some, I'm sorry, geotextile, which is a fabric, but it's a little stronger than a landscape.
Yeah.
Lasts a little longer.
but we don't want any
Separate.
plantings out there, not for the first at least 4 feet. I would recommend 5 just from the height of the building.
Wausau Concrete sells some good stuff for that.
Okay. So that's on the front, and then on the side, we have a little, what is it, about 12 inches or 16 inches that comes out on the side?
Right
There's a-
into the 12.
Yeah, there's also a little piece of concrete on the side that does the same thing. So we might as well remove that and then slant the soil. And in the back, we just need to build up the soil. What's happening is the water is flowing in to the block and it's freezing and thawing and breaking up our block. So let's prevent something bad from happening right now. So that's what's going on with that. The second thing, and this is, I want to bring in front of the board because this is getting to be a heck of a lot more costly than I thought it would be. So we have the gutter that comes off the main hall building and it comes down towards the sidewalk where you enter the building. And instead of, since there's so much water coming at one time, it's overflowing and it's actually funneling into the side of the hall, and it's drilling a hole through the side of the hall. So we gotta do something with the gutter, at least in the front here of the building and on the side of the hall. So I have asked Tom Oh, boy, he's not here, is he? Do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Caston happened to be off one day and Tom was here, so I asked Tom to meet with these, professionals and give us some, proposals on gutter replacement or repairs. So that's what you're seeing in front of you. This is for, complete gutter I keep saying tonight, I don't know why, I'm sorry. These are for complete gutter replacements. And I don't know that that is what was needed. That's why I asked Tom to be there, because he has a lot more knowledge of this gutter repair and replacement than I do because of his line of work. So did he tell you anything, Caston?
The biggest thing was that most of the dumping would be to the south of the building. And there was a gas line that either had to be brought out so the gutter could go, or the gutters would butt up against the gas line, where you just end it on each side of the gas line. I don't know exactly where the gas line is though, because I didn't look at it.
Okay, all right.
That's about all that I know about.
Well,
I remember him saying ABC was the most promising, or what are they called?
I have one here for Pro Seamless. Leaf Guard was, so I'm gonna tell
Maybe it
everybody
was
what the.
Pro Seamless, yeah, I think.
Okay, so the estimate we got from Leaf Guard, which is not a company here, they're out of northern Wisconsin. I wanted to get 4 estimates and only 3 were available to give us estimates. This one was $22,380. That was Leaf Guard. And I kind of thought they would be the most expensive because they do a lot of advertising. They have a very big staff. They're in and out. It's been like this for years. I'm not sure that there is a hurry to get it done in 2 days. So that seemed kind of expensive. The second one we got here is from Leaf Filter, not to be confused with Leaf Guard. And this was for, the first sentence says everything for $7,973. And then there's 3 other line items, one for $2,900, one for $4,700, and one for $1,500. Can somebody check to see if those 3 add up to that
I can already tell
$7,000?
you they don't, but,
Yeah, I kinda don't think
because
so
there's not
either.
an odd number at the end, but.
One other thing, they're not telling you what gauge, I don't think.
Right, they're not. They were 6-inch seamless, which is appreciated, but I still don't know if it's aluminum or plastic or steel.
Or what gauge the aluminum is, that's a big
Okay,
part of it.
so I'm getting 9170 by adding up those,
Yeah, so I think that was in addition to that 7,900.
so.
I think it was 7,973,
so-
and if you wanted these other features, it would be in addition.
Right,
okay.
all right. So that's gonna be, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 17,300.
No,
That's a little less. Then we go to Pro Seamless, and this is, this was the most accurate, I mean, the most, it was 6-inch, .032 gauge seamless aluminum. I mean, they got right down to the nitty gritty, they quoted exactly, they didn't kind of do this wishy-washy stuff, and I'm sorry, but that's, and they also had a 5-year guarantee, and I didn't think that either,
Somewhere, there it is.
yeah, I didn't think that either one of these, this one had a 2-year guarantee. But this was total price of 6,000, which is a lot different than 17 or 22.
Which includes the fascia board that was extra on this.
Right, and it also,
And it's local,
yeah, and they're right out of
That's what I was
Rapids.
gonna say next.
that's nice.
If we ever have any issues with it, we could call them up, they'd be here.
I got one concern though,
Yes?
the color is white, is that what we want on the building,
Oh,
for
I-
appearance sake?
I don't know that the color is,
The current one is white
Is it white?
on
Okay.
the front and back of the kitchen
Yeah.
portion, those are white.
And I
I
would,
think it'll look fine.
yeah, I would say though, what they do offer, a tan or a brown, maybe that would be better. But if it's a higher price, I don't see the color is gonna make it work any better.
Just if those white pops and makes it look funny, and
It will for a little while.
Until it gets dirty and-
Yeah, it'll be bright for a little while. So I think we should kind of delve into this and get a little more information to see what we really need. Do we need it all replaced, or can we do with some of it just being replaced and the other part of it, leaving it as is? So,
There's been issues there with them freezing up, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure, I'm not sure if they're sloped enough or.
okay.
I think, yeah, replacing, those are,
For the whole building, you think?
well, the only gutters on that building, well, those old
There
ones
should
up
be-
top, those are
Yeah.
almost non-existent.
Okay,
But the ones on the kitchen and EMS portion,
yes,
those are pretty much shot. And
okay.
that fascia board behind it's completely rotten.
Yeah, that's what prompted me to do this,
Yeah, and then Tom did say the Pro Seamless guy,
yes,
he knew the most out of the other
okay,
three we talked to. He liked him the most, and he said they were the most promising.
okay.
He would go with Pro Seamless.
Okay, so, which one of you guys know the most about this? Anybody? Or do you want me to give it a wing? I would like to have at least one or two of us meet with this guy and get more details on what's going on
With the pros,
with the Pro Seamless,
depending on the day, I can meet.
okay?
kinda swamped for it
Okay,
right now.
yeah, I guess this is your busy time. Josh, you and I?
It'd have to be after 3 for me.
Yeah, you're.
By
Well,
then,
and if you
Well, if the
do
three of you
redo, I
meet,
have to
you'd have to
notice
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll just do
yeah.
us two.
And do you wanna make a motion to approve it, providing you like what he says and,
I think we'd rather wait and make sure
Yeah,
that
we-
what we're getting, what
Until
we
next
think we
month?
are, yeah,
Yeah, let's talk to him, get some more information, then we'll bring these 3 back.
okay.
Been
And,
doing it for 20 years, so another month ain't gonna
Just,
matter.
Right.
I guess to put this out there, anything over 5,000, we are supposed to put a class 1 notice in the paper that we
Yeah.
are accepting a quote
okay,
from the contractor, so
okay,
we may wanna have a motion that upon your approval, that we put out a class 1 notice, so that we can approve that during next meeting.
Would we need that second story gutter?
oh yeah, that's the biggest issue. If you go out there and,
Yeah, just in that area, but would we need it the whole?
because it comes off the back,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know, that's kind of what I'd like to,
They'll know when you look at it. Most
yeah,
folks will.
yeah.
To be honest with where he's got this, this quote compared to the others, I would say we go with the whole quote at that point, cause he's quite a bit lower than either one of them, and
Let me ask a former board member, now that I have requested 3 quotes, and I have 3, but I didn't put it out for bid, I didn't put it in the paper.
you don't
And
have to put it out for bid if it's under 25.
25,000 or less, you can do a class 1.
The only thing you
Okay.
need to do, you need to put a class 1 notice out that says we are going to be taking their quote, and just so it's out there, public knowledge, and then we can accept it at the next meeting.
Okay,
So,
you got that, Paulette? Yep. Thank you, Chase.
And
Okay.
you'll know if you see if you don't like what he's talking about, then come back and bid it.
Okay, I like us to be legal. Josh, can you get me a time when you're okay, because I'm always okay?
Just let, do you think it'd be next week?
Sure.
If it's next week, I'll make it work.
How about Tuesday, 9 to 5?
Sure, that
Okay.
sounds perfect.
okay. So I'm gonna make a motion
I'll make that
that we,
Tuesday.
that with Lorelei and Josh's approval, after meeting them, that we put out a class 1 notice showing that we intend to approve the quote from Pro Seamless.
I have a motion by Chase.
He's got that all wrote down over here.
Okay. Did you
For
get-
real?
No?
Do you have it all, or you want me to repeat it?
I'm getting there.
Okay, I have a motion by Chase to have Josh and Lorelei meet with Pro Seamless on Tuesday, whatever the date is, at 9 AM, to review the estimate with Pro Seamless. And,
And under their approval, to post a class 1 notice to accept their quote.
Provided it's under 25,000.
It's, yeah,
Well, they're at 6,060,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
and that's for full replacement, so I don't know why the big difference, but we'll find out. All right,
You need a second?
I need a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Jason, a second by Carl. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me, Billy Joe.
No problem.
All right. That was much simpler than what I assumed it was going to be. Amend the fence ordinance. Okay, this one's on me. We had a meeting last month and we had a discussion of what our fence ordinance actually said. And the issue was that we weren't sure if the board could technically modify what the ordinance said because the sentence was in the beginning of the paragraph instead of at the end of the paragraph. So I just relocated the sentence because of the interpretation. So what you're reading is the new ordinance, and you should have a copy of the old one. So you'll see on section 2 of the old ordinance, it says, location not within the road right of way without town board approval. And you'll see the new one says, at the end of location, modifications will be allowed by the majority of the town board approval. So,
There's one sentence.
one sentence. So,
I read them over and I would make a motion to approve it,
okay. Motion by Carl,
as Lorelei has rewritten it.
motion by Carl, and do I have a second?
No, I will second as long as section 3 was also changed, with the foots. and
Yes,
things.
it was,
Okay,
yes.
I second.
I have a motion by Carl and a second by Josh to approve the fence ordinance with the new language. Oh, and to, I also made the graph. Can we add that in there too? So the graph is part of the ordinance? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those against?
Hey,
You're against?
I'm not really a fan of anything that actually comes, by the purview of the board to approve yes or no what a private owner can do. I'd rather it's stated clearly so that they can,
So it stated right now it stated what we require for a fence,
but you can come in and ask
but
for a
but you can
change.
come in and ask for a change.
And it's by however the board feels about that project or that person.
Correct.
It's case by
It
case.
bugs me that that's.
But
the
it's
case.
only for
I know
this.
exactly where you're coming from.
So
Okay.
I don't like it. You guys approve it and that's fine. I'm just,
No.
I'm not necessarily for it. I'd rather see it black and white. That's the way it is.
Okay, but
So-
wait a second, it didn't get approved because it was 2-2. I mean, because I didn't vote, right?
I thought you voted, didn't you?
No,
Well, you can vote.
I almost have to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna vote to approve it.
that's fine.
The only reason I'm saying this, Chase, as much as I agree with you, that I don't think that
Yeah, here's something.
the board should have the ability to pick out a person and say, yes, you're okay, and no, you're not okay. But I'm hoping that the board will have enough integrity to look at each parcel and say the reason that this is approved is because it's not gonna make any difference.
I would hope that. However, I have sat in hundreds of town meetings in many different towns, hundreds
Okay.
of towns in the state. And I can tell you there are personal problems that come into just about every single one of them at some point.
Is there,
So it's hard to stay completely impartial if it's not black and
oh,
white.
I totally agree with that.
So that's fine. I mean, it passed. I voted no. I'm fine with that.
I'm
This
just
board
I'm
is
thinking,
not a
pretty
fan of it.
impartial. We're pretty impartial.
Yeah,
think.
I would agree. I
But who
feel
knows
we
what the
are.
next board's gonna be?
true.
Well, right. There's.
Except when it comes to culverts.
All right, you guys.